So as an experienced writer with 10 books under my hat and hundreds of magazine and newspaper articles, I'm often asked, what does it take to write a best-selling book? So there's not really an easy, quick way to answer that. I guess the best way to sort of approach that topic would be write about something that you are truly passionate about. I've always felt a greater connection to things that I have an interest in, or something that to me really resonates. And it's always been incredibly easy to write about those topics. I've tried to force myself to a little bit to think outside and to write about things that I'm not as familiar with. And for me, it doesn't really work. Everyone obviously has different ways of doing things and different ways of motivating themselves to write. But for me, I have absolutely found that it comes easiest for me when I'm writing about something that I'm passionate about. So if you want to write a best-selling book, you have to find your passion, and you have to write about something that is a topic that you are not only interested in, but something that you are engaged in, and something that you could easily spend hours and hours writing. If you don't, and that's okay too, but if you don't, and you write about a topic that you don't have as much passion for, then it's going to show. I'll give you a great example of that. So my third book was a book about mythology. It was called Viral Mythology. And there was a paranormal connection to that as well, right? So we talked about some concepts of mythology that are potentially still unexplained today. But it was hard for me to write that book. It was not my passion. It was a book that I had an interest in. It was a topic that I had an interest in, and certainly there were portions of that book that I felt very strongly connected to. But overall, it didn't really fit with my primary interest, which is sort of true to the word paranormal, in that I am absolutely fascinated with the concept of the continuity of life, or what happens after death. So I was able to write that book, and it ended up doing well, but it was not something that I was passionate about. And I think there's probably a disconnect in that writing, in that if you compare that with some of my other work, such as The Grid or Mind Wars, you could probably tell that it was not as passionately written. So I guess my biggest advice, if you want to write a best-selling book, it's easy. There is no magic equation. There is no, mysterious algorithm to do it. Write about something that you're passionate about. Write about something that you have an innate interest in, something that when you write about it, you feel it, and it comes out in your writing. That's it. That is the secret to writing a best-selling book.